Excellent.
Well, here it is, my entry into the Build Your Own Legends at Games contest. If you're not familiar with this contest, 5 people were selected to build a project of their choice, gaming related, using this Legends Connect board right here. And many prizes will be awarded, but the winning prize is an AtGames Legends pinball. Now, what I decided to go with here is what I'm calling the Legends Wallcade. It's an arcade/pinball wall-mounted machine that you can play your favorite pinball machine games as well as your favorite arcade classics. Now let's talk about the specs really quick. It's about 15.5 inches wide, about 29 inches tall. It also saves a lot of space because it's mounted to the wall, and what I used was a French cleat type bracket, and you can see it lifts easily up. It's not a very heavy machine, and it just slides right down on that French cleat. And I also have a little added security with a little brace at the bottom. Now, this machine can be easily taken off the wall and used as a tabletop or a bar top as well if you so desire. Taking a look at the design, you can see I went with a haunted house pinball theme here. I designed the graphics and the art myself using Photoshop, and I had them printed at GameOnGraphics.com. Taking a look at the side here, you'll see I have a power button right here that will power it on. Now, I do not have the lit marquee tied into the power button because sometimes I like the machine off and the marquee lit at all times. So the LED strip is controlled by underneath the control panel just by simply hitting a button to leave the marquee on or off. You can also see on the side here we have a USB extender that on the outside where you can plug in a keyboard or even external controllers if you so desire. On the side here we have our flipper button as well as our nudge button for pinball. Then on the control panel we have a Sanwa JLF joystick that can be a 4-way or an 8-way type joystick depending on how you place the restrictor gate. We have volume up and volume down buttons. You have your home button, your rewind, player 1, player 2, and your fire or jump or standard button as well. And you can play more games than just games with one button. You just simply need to reassign the player 1 and player 2 start buttons in the main menu, and you can play other games like Metal Slug or any beat 'em up games that require, up to about 3 buttons here. Now on the marquee here, the plexiglass, I drilled a hole through the plexiglass and have a shoot ball button. That's for your external pinball games where you can, you're not using the joystick maybe to pull them down, but you can also use the button as well. As for the monitor, we have a vertically oriented LCD monitor here, HDMI going out from the board to the monitor itself. For sound, I have a 3-inch speaker in the back, mounted pointed underneath towards the front here. There is a slot here for all the wires and the harnesses to come through to get all the buttons. I originally was going to do a 2-inch speaker right here, but I decided to go with a little better sound and upped it to a 3-inch speaker, and it produces some better sound. Now again, the control panel lifts up here. You have plenty of room to store any external devices like controllers or maybe a mini keyboard, anything that you like to use with your AtGames Legends ecosystem. Now some other design things, we have a real 1/2-inch T-molding here. The wood is 1/2-inch MDF, so it's a very nice build with this 1/2-inch MDF for something of this size. Not too heavy though, but very sturdy. We also have some black vinyl wrap on the inside, so you can see it's nice and pretty in here. You get that nice black dark look. We have a bezel that I made out of plexiglass. Looks real nice, covers the monitor edges perfectly. You don't see any power lights or anything like that on the monitor lighting up. It's kind of like a dark black type of bezel around a pinball machine. Other than that, we have a hole on the bottom to run some wires. I would have loved to run power right to the back, but just didn't have time, so there's no wires. I also have an Ethernet port going up through the bottom here, drilled out a hole there into the Ethernet port on the Connect board. That is used mainly for local streaming and such, as well as Arcade Net, makes you for a better gameplay, but you could use the wireless as well if you needed to. Now, with all that said, why don't we take a look at some gameplay? Okay, so although you have your designated games already on here, I'm going to focus on the BYOG aspect and specifically coin ops. You see the vertical mode coin ops right here. Looks really good. And when you enter game here, you'll see that I have some custom bezels on the Donkey Kong game and all other games as well. This is something that I had to figure out myself. You won't find vertical custom or vertical bezels in coin ops at all. So you'll see that I made a bunch of different bezels for each game, whether it was Burger Time or Dig Dug. All these vertical games, I made a custom bezel that displays very nicely on the vertical oriented screen. Now the game plays really well. The joystick is fantastic. I have it set to 4-way mode right here. And the game is very responsive. The joystick is very responsive. Now, what about horizontal games? Here's an example of Popeye. You'll see another custom bezel for horizontal games, but they display really nicely. Yes, the screen is shrunk a little bit and the top and bottom is cut off, but perfectly playable from a short distance away from the screen, and it looks fantastic. The video recording here doesn't even do it justice. I wish I could have screen captured, but maybe next time. Now let's take a look at pinball. This is Rescue 911. And this is running actually locally, and it plays fantastic. You'll see the nudge works there, just wanted to test it. The other side nudge, and tried to nudge there, couldn't make it work. How about Haunted House? Again, running locally, plays fantastic. Now, the other pinball that can be ran is you can do local streaming. I didn't have time to showcase that as I have to set up some buttons and some other configurations to make it work better, but I did get it to work. Now, the last thing I need to go over is the budget. We were required to stay within a $300 budget when building this project for the contest. Here you'll see a list of all the items I use and the price the normal person would pay if trying to replicate this build. When all said and done, the final cost was $279.97. Here's the list of suppliers that I used, not including OfferUp, which I used for my monitor. Now, the winners of this contest will be selected on a live stream video on Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. There will be live voting on this live stream video, and your vote will count. I'll leave a link in the description of that YouTube stream video and the channel that it will be on as soon as it becomes available. Hey, I hope you like what you saw here, and I hope I can get your vote this Sunday. Thanks for watching The Rexer Show.